This is Strictly Business, presented by the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored in part by the law offices of Young Wooldridge, San Joaquin Community Hospital.
And welcome back to Strictly Business. I'm Nathan Ollie, Manager of Government Affairs at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, and this is the closing bell. The CSU Bakersfield School of Business and Public Administration is presenting a workshop on foreign trade, obligations, and implications. The workshop will discuss the challenges, obstacles, and barriers that domestic companies face when exporting internationally and the implications exporting has on the U.S. economy. The seminar will be held this Thursday, March the 5th, from 4 to 7 p.m. in the CSUB Student Union Multipurpose Room. It's free to attend. The Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce has a couple of upcoming events, and for more on those, here's Melissa Rossiter, Manager of Marketing Communications, and she's at the Chamber News Desk. Good morning, Melissa.
Morning, Nathan. We've got a couple of events to tell you about coming up at the Chamber. Learn what it takes to land contracts with some of the area's largest companies at the Chamber's next Small Business Networking Breakfast on Thursday, March 12th at the Chamber office located at 1725 Ice Street. With Bakersfield hosting one of the nation's largest Relay for Life events, Marcella Ives, Senior Marketing Manager, Community Engagement for the American Cancer Society, will explain the simple ways that companies can get involved in saving lives in the fight to end cancer. And Jennifer Nato, the General Manager with the outlets at Tejon, will explain what various businesses can do to keep Kern County's newest shopping center running smoothly. Check-in and networking for the event began at 7:30 a.m., with the breakfast lasting from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Cost is $25 for members, $50 for non-members. A catered breakfast will be served. To register, call the Chamber at 661-327-4421 or online at bakersfieldchamber.org. The Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce is also accepting nominations for its Beautiful Bakersfield Awards. This event honors businesses, organizations, and citizens for their contribution to the people and image of Bakersfield. Awards will be based on work completed in 2014. Nomination deadline is Friday, March 20th. Nomination forms can be downloaded at bakersfieldchamber.org or picked up at the Chamber office, 1725 Ice Street. For additional information, contact Hillary Haynes at the Chamber office at 661-327-4421 or H. Haynes at bakersfieldchamber.org. And in partnership with Cal State Bakersfield and the Kern Economic Development Corporation, the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce is proud to present the 15th Annual Kern County Economic Summit. This year's event includes a keynote speaker, Chip Yates, an outlook on the oil industry from Gene Voiland, a water panel hosted by Lewis Henry, and economic outlets from Sarah Watt House and California State University Bakersfield professors. The summit will take place on Wednesday, March 25th from 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Doubletree by Hilton, located at 3100 Camino del Rio Court. Tickets are $100 per person and are now available at kedc.com. Nathan, that's all I have. We'll toss it back your way.
All right. Thanks very much, Melissa. The Kern County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce's next Business Mixer is hosted by La Costa Mariscos. The Business Mixer is a great opportunity to network and meet other professionals in the community. And that's Wednesday, March the 11th, starting at 5:30 p.m. at 3401 Chester Avenue, Suite B, which is the Ice House. The cost is $5 for members and $10 for non-members. Kern Green is currently accepting nominations of businesses, organizations, governmental agencies, and individuals who go above and beyond to make a positive impact on our community. To nominate a person or organization that you think deserves recognition for their environmental efforts, you can nominate them, and those nominations are due Wednesday, March the 28th, 2015, with the reception to be held this September. To nominate someone you feel is deserving of this award, visit them online at www.kerngreen.org. And on March 26th, the Chamber will host a social media therapy session on avoiding backlash on social media with Charlie McKay of the Saba Agency. And here to talk to us more about the session, we have Charlie in studio. Good morning, Charlie. How are you?
Good morning. Pretty good.
Great. So what you think is a perfectly crafted Facebook post or social media, a tweet, whatever, could cause a backlash for your company that you just may not be expecting. So what kind of things do you keep in mind when you're crafting that perfect social media post?
Well, there's a lot of things that you want to keep in mind, but basically you want to write it like your mom's going to read it.
Okay.
You want to keep it pretty safe, not too controversial, and you always want to check your hashtags. 'Cause if you use them wrong, that can get you in a lot of trouble.
Do you have a clean example of a hashtag that we could?
Yeah, actually, we just used one this morning for Go Red. It's just hashtag Go Red. It identifies their event
Oh boy.
and links everything to it.
Okay. But that could also be gourd.
It could be.
Okay.
But we capitalize the G and the R, so
There you go.
You can kind of see the difference.
Okay. So what other types of negative feedback can you run into on social media?
Well, I think a lot of it is upset customers is mostly what you're going to run into. And they'll come and post how upset they are, and that's mostly when you need to deal with it. Otherwise, it's kind of more like a 1 in a million chance that you're going to get that viral, you've really messed up your company kind of post.
Okay. So it could be anything from, I was waiting at a restaurant and I didn't get my table and I'm going to get on Facebook and complain about it. Those kind of things.
Exactly. It's like it's the new customer service.
Okay. And how do you handle something like that? What's the first step?
Well, it's just like how you would handle any customer service complaint. You want to respond quickly, first of all, and you need to be calm because they're already upset and you don't want to escalate the situation.
Okay.
And then from there, it's basically just making the customer happy because now that we're on social media, everybody can see what you're doing. It's not just a one-on-one with the customer anymore.
And we've seen some instances where companies didn't answer calmly, and it did escalate the situation.
Yes. Okay. And we'll have some examples of that at the social media therapy.
Okay. So just a quick one maybe of a company that
Amy's Baking Company.
Oh yeah, the Kitchen Nightmares, right?
Yes.
Right, on the reality TV show.
Yeah, she completely blew up her Facebook page and eventually had to claim that it was hacked and abandon it.
Pretty much ended up costing her business, didn't it?
Well, I think they're still in business,
Okay.
But it's like kind of a joke. You go in there for
Sure. You mentioned handling feedback promptly. Why do that? Why focus on timeliness as opposed to waiting and maybe thinking up a strategy?
Well, things move very, very quickly on social media. Twitter specifically, like a tweet's lifespan is about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So you really need to get in when things are happening versus the next day.
Okay. And is that, you mentioned Twitter specifically, so it is different. You maybe have a different strategy for a different platform.
Yeah, you have more time to respond on Facebook, even more on Yelp. Twitter's the quickest. You have to really be on top of that one.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Yelp for those that don't know. What is Yelp? First of all, what is it? And then, how is it something that can really escalate into a negative situation if you're not careful?
Well, Yelp is kind of the channel that you would have the least control over.
Okay.
You can't go through and delete things.
You can't pay to remove things.
You can't pay to remove things. And it's really just there to provide a place for people to write reviews. So it can go downhill pretty quickly. But there are some things that you can do to stay on top of it and make sure that you don't end up with a 1-star review on Yelp.
So let's say you get a 1-star review. Is it beneficial to respond to every 1-star review, or some of them you have to understand that, hey, maybe this is just sour grapes, let it go? What's the good rule of thumb?
I mean, you can kind of tell reading a post if you're never going to satisfy this person, just let it go.
Okay.
But really, you should try and respond to everything.
Okay. And that, I would think, would send a message that, hey, this is an engaged business owner. They're interested in making our customers happy. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay.
The more they see that you care, the less upset they're going to be, and they might go back and actually change that review.
Now, is it true that people are an order of magnitude more likely to post something negatively than they are to post something positively?
It seems about 50-50. People go on just as much to write good reviews as bad reviews. But with Yelp in particular, the good reviews don't always show up.
Okay. Is that just part of their
It's
their
part of-
algorithm, or is
Yeah,
it just okay?
Exactly. It's part of their algorithm because someone going on to write a good review may have only written that one review, and Yelp will ignore it because they've only written the one.
Okay.
So you have to look out for them.
So let's talk a little bit more specifically about this event. What specifically can our attendees expect? Just you said some examples.
Yeah,
and-
we'll give some examples that are hopefully pretty funny.
Okay.
And we'll go over the various channels and give you a good start, and then I'm putting together a handout that will hopefully let you develop a plan on how to respond to each channel.
Okay. And I don't want you to give everything away, but maybe give us just in the couple minutes we have left. Give us one of these funny anecdotes that kind of whet the appetite.
Have you heard of Justine Sacco?
I don't believe so, but
I'm not sure who she worked for, but she had a Twitter following of 200 people, so
okay.
not very many. She wrote a tweet that she didn't think much of, got on a plane, and by the time she
yes.
got off the plane, she was fired.
Yes.
And she was trending like with millions of followers.
And it
on
was
Twitter.
something racially motivated, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you could take it as a joke, or you could take it as racially motivated. But it ended up blowing up in her face.
I want to say she worked for a media company or something.
I
like
believe
that.
so,
And it
yeah.
was. She sent a tweet, and by the time she got off the plane, it was a 5 or 6 hour plane ride. By the time she got off the plane, she was out of a
Fired.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were people waiting to take pictures of her.
Right. So, not only a damage to the company's reputation, but a damage to your reputation as
Yeah.
well, personally. I mean, it's going to be hard to get a job again with that following you around.
Yeah, and I think that's a good example too of especially of how fast Twitter moves. Like you can get on a plane and get off, and your job's gone.
All right. Well, a lot to look forward to. So, thanks a lot, Charlie. Again, the next social media therapy session, Thursday, March the 12th. It's the 12th, from noon to 1 p.m. at the Chamber, 1725 I Street. $20 for members, $40 for non-members, and a catered lunch will be served. Please park in the parking garage on the northwest corner of 18th and I Street. And I apologize, the slide is incorrect. It is March the 26th will be that date. So that's it for Strictly Business this week. I would like to thank my guests, Alex Balfour of Cushman Wakefield, Richard Abraham Rugnow with Rare, Jimmy Phillips of San Joaquin Community Hospital, Lorenzo Michaels of Quest Imaging, and Charlie McKay of the Saba Agency. So for Melissa Rossiter and on behalf of all of us at the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, we thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. So take care.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californians Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family.